What for a stormtrooper?
I'm Luke Skywalker. I'm here to rescue you.
In his fight against the forces of evil, the hero needs more than courage and the teachings of a mentor.
Luke, we're gonna have company! Get alongside that one.
He also relies on the help and the friendship of others.
Heroes need to start out with comrades. They need that teamwork. They need what they can learn from each other.
Got him! Great kid! Don't get cocky! That's it! We did it!
We did it!
Once the hero has undertaken his journey, they pick up companions along the way. Dorothy meets up with the Tin Man and the Scarecrow. Frodo has the entire fellowship to travel with, and Luke has this wonderful menagerie of friends.
Each Star Wars trilogy ingeniously reimagines the ancient archetypes of the warrior who befriends the hero.
Be careful.
You too.
And the damsel in distress, whom the hero must protect.
Stop rescue! Came in here. Did you have a plan for getting out?
Eat the brains, sweetheart!
But far from being helpless, the female characters of Padme Amidala and her daughter Leia Organa are as courageous as they are clever.
The women of the Star Wars films are extremely assertive. Will somebody get this big walking carpet out of my way? Can wield weapons with the best of them.
You call this a diplomatic solution?
No, I call it aggressive negotiations.
We also see them physically and personally evolving from film to film, which is almost unique in contemporary culture. That is, Lucas's ability to speak to the emotional needs of men without in any way undermining the dignity and potential of women.
I'm not sure what you wish to accomplish by this.
I will take back what's ours.
Of course, Greek tragedy has enormously strong women. And George Lucas has managed to capture the strength of these women. But in fact, it's layered. If you look at Queen Amidala, she's strong and yet romantic.
The name of Padme's home planet, Naboo, gives a clue to her intellectual nature.
Naboo was the Babylonian god of wisdom. And so as Queen of Naboo, Padme is the ruler of wisdom. And in fact, she embodies all of the female wisdom of that particular archetype.
Oh, Anakin, something wonderful has happened. I'm pregnant.
As the future mother of Leia and Luke, Padme embodies another figure in classic myth, that of the nurturing Earth Mother.
Her environment is green, flourishing, nourishing. She is love. She is sensibilities. She is all of those things that lie in stark contrast to technology-driven, control-driven realms beyond her.
But Padme's compassion and her love for Anakin also lead to her downfall when her husband turns to the dark side.
Padme is broken-hearted. And this is the same experience of Queen Dido of Carthage, in that she loves and she cries and begs for her man, Aeneas, to stay as he was. You've changed. I don't know you anymore. Anakin, you're breaking my heart. So she's a marvelous blend of traditions, of the complexity of what it is to be a woman. Oh, Luke.
Although Padme Amidala is a tragic figure, her quest for peace and democracy is finally realized a generation later by her daughter, Leia.
Governor Tuck, I should have expected to find you holding Vader's leash. I recognized your foul stench when I was brought on board.
Charming to the last.
What's great about Leia is that from the first moment you meet her, while she is desperate, she's anything but. She is tough and she's resourceful.
Looks like you managed to cut off her only escape route.
Maybe you'd like it back in your cell, Your Highness.
She doesn't hesitate to do what she needs to do.
What the hell are you doing?
Somebody has to save our skins. Into the garbage, you fly boy.
The princess archetype is the young feminine ready to come into herself and blossom into herself.
You're trembling.
I'm not trembling.
You like me because I'm a scoundrel. There aren't enough scoundrels in your life.
I happen to like nice men.
I'm a nice man.
No, you're not.
Is about her coming into herself as a woman who can be in relationship to a man that she cares about, as well as discovering a relationship to this brother and to the Force.
Force is strong in my family. My father has it. I have it. And my sister has it.
Luke and Leia. They are, of course, Apollo and Artemis, the divine twins of mythology who come into the world, male and female, to restore it to order.
If I don't make it back, you're the only hope for the Alliance.
Luke, don't talk that way. You have a power I don't understand and could never have.
You're wrong, Leia. You have that power, too. In time, you'll learn to use it as I have.
She's not just a love interest, as a lot of, princesses in these stories tend to be. She actually has her own story, her own mythology. She turns out to be a Jedi, and that's very much a journey which she has to take herself.
Corporal, we'll cover you. Roger, roger. Uh-oh.
Skywalker, meet Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Hi.
Obi-Wan is an interesting character that we see develop throughout the films. At the beginning, he is clearly subordinate to Qui-Gon Jinn as a young and vital Jedi. But then we see him in much more of a leadership role as he begins to school young Anakin.
Anakin! She went into the club, Master.
Patience. Use the Force.
I try, Master.
Increasingly, they develop a relationship like brothers.
You are strong and wise, Anakin, and I am very proud of you. And you have become a far greater Jedi than I could ever hope to be.
Even though it's often called the hero's journey, it is usually done in groups.
Follow him!
We're gonna need some help.
There isn't time!
And this has several implications. One, we need to be good team players. And teams are always imperfect.
That was some shortcut, Anakin. He went completely the other way. Once again, you've proved...
If you'll excuse me...
I hate it when he does that.
After all, they're people. So we have to cope with the flaws of the people we're working with. Whether you're talking about Jason and the Argonauts or Frodo and the Fellowship of the Ring, you have some motley crew, some odd team that is able to take on terrible challenges. So the team is very effective.
It's them. Blast them. Get back to the city!
Certainly has courage.
What good will it do us if he gets himself killed?
Luke Skywalker finds an unlikely comrade in the person of Han Solo.
You don't believe in the Force, do you?
Hokey religions and ancient weapons are no match for a good blaster at your side.
Han represents another classic archetype,
Half-witted, scruffy-looking nerf herder.
the mercenary pirate.
Who's scruffy looking?
Most well-socialized people want to be liked by others.
But they're gonna kill her! Better her than me.
Han Solo cares a little less about that. His name's Solo. He's out for himself.
She's rich.
Rich.
Rich, powerful. Listen, if you were to rescue her, the reward would be...
What?
Well, more wealth than you can imagine.
I don't know. I can imagine quite a bit.
The character of Han Solo, he strikes me as not being so much from ancient mythology, but more like a Western outlaw.
Keep your eyes open, huh?
Hey!
There's something shady about him.
Well, you slimy, double-crossing, no-good swindler. You got a lot of guts coming here.
He's on the run from the law, but he's essentially good.
How you doing, you old Myron? So good to see you.
The cowboy is almost iconic in American imagination as someone who is an outsider, but he's a hero we look to precisely because we value that kind of independence, self-reliance, the fact that he depends on himself and nobody else.
Yes, Greedo. As a matter of fact, I was just going to see your boss. Tell Jabba that I've got his money.
You have the sense of a Wild West town.
I don't have it with me. Tell Jabba.
And nobody even really cares if somebody gets shot in the bar.
Yes, I bet you have.
As long as they clean up the mess or pay for it.
Sorry about the mess.
I always thought Star Wars was a Western in the future. I really did. I thought that Star Wars was the quintessential Western played out in a different universe.
Right here, Jabba. You didn't think I was going to run, did you?
You could have put Harrison Ford in a cowboy hat and put a star on him, and it wouldn't have seemed out of place. It was that classic Gary Cooper riding into town, except in this case, it was Harrison Ford in a spaceship.
His hero journey path is that of the warrior and the lover. He has to learn to commit himself to a cause outside himself, and he has to learn to open his heart to love.
There are many like me who think that possibly one of the sexiest lines ever said in any movie is uttered by Han Solo when Princess Leia says,
I love you.
He doesn't say, I love you too, he says,
I know.
Be still my heart. Every woman who's ever loved a bad boy fell in love with Han Solo at that moment if they hadn't already.
He begins to actually think of someone else and not just himself. And that's a lesson that many people really need to learn to become more whole.
Don't move!
But also to learn the art of relationship and friendship.
I love you.
I know.
So it is realizing our need for one another that I think gets conveyed in a really profound way.
May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with us.
May the Force be with us all.